Welcome to the second On Point Sports podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the NBA. Today with me I have Adam.
Hello.
Yo,
Last night we had a series of interesting games. One of them being the Rockets and the Grizzlies. The outcome of that game was 107-100 for the Rockets. What do you guys think about that game last night?
That one was pretty interesting just because the previous night the Rockets had ended up losing by a lot to the Heat, and that was with Westbrook and Harden. So kind of going into that game, I didn't really know if they'd be able to beat the Grizzlies, even though the Grizzlies are the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
But Harden did put up 44, if I'm not wrong. Which obviously, when he does that, it's rare to see his team lose.
Well,
to be honest, I didn't watch the game, but um, I definitely thought the Rockets were gonna win. They did.
yeah. It was no surprise that the Rockets were going to
Yeah,
win, but the fact that it was this close was pretty astonishing. Of Ja Morant going up against Russell Westbrook, which is an interesting matchup since they are like similar type players. But
Westbrook sat out.
overall, oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
action at the end of the game. That was
Yep.
pretty cool. Um, another game we had last night was the Sixers and Suns. This one was surprising. Was 109-114 for the Suns. What do you guys think about that?
I thought the Sixers were gonna win that game, but the Suns pulled it out.
Yeah, but the Suns are an interesting team this year just because they've started to win a lot more, even though DeAndre Ayton's out. But Booker did put up 40, but then you also have to remember that Joel Embiid's still suspended, so it's a big part of their team too. But
Yeah,
Suns did step up in that game. Devin Booker put up
both defensively and offensively
yeah, definitely.
for the Sixers.
Yeah, Devin Booker also put up 40 points in that game. It's pretty. The Suns did also end their winning streak. The Sixers were the last undefeated team in the NBA, and that changed with that outcome from last night.
hmm
We had was This was an interesting one. Trailblazers and Warriors, 118-127 for the Warriors.
This is a game that I don't think anyone would have really thought that the Blazers could have lost.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought the Blazers were gonna win for sure.
mhm. And until the last few moments, CJ McCollum was still in single digit points, which is definitely a big part of why they probably lost, as well as if you look at really any of the stats, it was pretty much Lillard the whole game who was really leading them, and then Whiteside at points.
Yeah,
But the
Yeah,
Eric Pascal is or Pascal definitely is
he's
something
he's AD.
future.
I don't know if you want to go
Nah,
that
I'm
far
playing.
as to call him the new KD, but
Nah, I'm playing.
he definitely is a dominant force.
Yeah,
34 and
Second
13.
unit.
he has potential.
Yep. There was also multiple people in double digits in on that side, and then not so much. Well, a few, but not so much on the Blazers side.
Yeah. Well, it was surprising that the Warriors would win because they're missing out on so many players. Steph Curry, in the span of our last podcast to this now, Steph Curry rolled his wrist or something.
So
Oh, he
Aaron Baines
broke.
He
landed on
fell
his
on his
wrist,
wrist.
which
Yeah,
then broke his hand, his left hand. But also the same day he rolled his ankle.
Oh wow.
I don't think that really did too much though. I think he lucked out on that one. However, with his ankle not really being too big of a deal, he did end up later breaking his hand too. So maybe the rolled ankle would have been
imagine he broke both of them.
that would well
That
he
that
wouldn't
I
have
don't
would
want to imagine that.
he wouldn't have broke
that
both of
would
them
have.
though, because if he broke his ankle, that guy wasn't going back in to break his hand on the next play.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
It seems like an injured roster
Yeah.
player who recently got injured but is back on the court tonight is Trey Young.
hmm
Um, his team has been missing out his presence for a while,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
I'm not sure of any other injured players that are out.
Right now, I don't think there's really, besides obviously like we talked about the Warriors team, I don't think there's really anyone who's out right now besides maybe you could say Reggie Jackson or someone like Ed Davis, but huge like because Trey Young is a big time name at this point.
Yeah,
So I don't think there's anyone really else that big of a name kind of out right now. Hopefully won't be out.
yeah. Well, yeah, I guess all the injuries are just like players on the Warriors roster,
Seems
like the
like
big
it.
yeah,
time injuries.
I think they might have more combined than every other team right now in the NBA combined. I don't think that's too far off of what reality is.
Well, as of right now, they have like what 4 stars out
They
for
have
the
right
next
they
now.
game.
have
Right now
three, I think.
they have 9 players active, which means that they had about 6 or 7 players out. I know they have Jacob Evans, Kevon Looney, and then their big four are all out, at least as the time we're recording this. Yeah, so about 6 players out right now, and it's probably their 6 best players, or at least 5 of their best players.
Yeah, and then their top player, Smiley Geach, is out. He's been
Yeah,
out for a
definitely
while.
foreseeable
Yeah,
future.
Yeah, at least Smiley Geach, it's over for the league.
Yes,
We
sir.
saw that last night with Pascal. He went off.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to another interesting team. We brought them up earlier. The Suns.
Yeah, the Suns are an interesting team just because I believe right now they're 5-2, at least when we're recording this, and a good amount of those wins have been without DeAndre Ayton, which then if you add him to the mix, maybe they go 6-1 because I remember they lost to the I believe the Nuggets in overtime. I might be wrong about that, but they lost in overtime the one team for one of their losses, which if you add Ayton to maybe both of the games, they end up being if they're 5-2, 7-0 right
yeah,
now. Which with the Phoenix Suns, that's pretty crazy. I believe they're second in the Western Conference right now, tied with the Clippers and about a half game below the Lakers.
Yeah,
So it's pretty crazy to think that for a team that last year was pretty much at the bottom of the entire year.
it is. It is definitely odd that they are like one of the top teams in the NBA, considering how horrible they did last year
yeah.
with
They're like
basically
they're
the
like
same
underdog.
roster. Yeah,
And
they got Ricky Rubio now.
yeah, which surprisingly
Uh,
is changing a huge part of the
Yeah,
game.
they did do
he's
terrible
just
in
a
the draft.
he's a big passer for
Cam
them.
Johnson drafted, and they
Yeah,
turned
I'm
him
not
into
so
this.
sure they drafted correctly because they missed out on a lot of other players
Yep.
like Pascal. Should have been a lottery, but
And imagine if instead of Cam Johnson, because they had, I think, the 7th pick or 6th pick, they could have got some really good players around that time. And then imagine some of those good players being added to the mix with the team they have right now instead of Cam Johnson. They could
yeah.
definitely be probably a top team right now, even though they already are. But they could be a 1 seed right now.
With the addition of DeAndre Ayton later, I'm not sure how long he's out. But
He's out 25 games as well,
oh snap!
which about
Same
Uh,
as Collins.
yeah, which is about 20, I think, around now.
when he comes back, for sure the Suns will do a lot
Yeah,
better,
way better.
which
It's
is pretty scary.
But it's just a matter of from right now into the next 20 games, how many of those they can win. Because they can technically go like 5-20 something, and then they probably won't get back up. So these next 20 games will be very important for their playoff hopes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they'll probably make the playoffs now. Like my opinion
Yeah.
changed.
If not, definitely contend for them.
Yeah. After like the Warriors injuries,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the Suns are a guaranteed playoff team now,
Yep. And then after the
Yeah,
especially with the record.
Blazers performance last night, as well as a few other teams like the Rockets, kind of struggling, the Suns are kind of one of those teams that are excelling right now with all
striving.
of those. Yeah, definitely.
Which is very surprising.
Yeah.
Um, Today we have a couple of NBA games. Um, we have some going on right now, actually.
Yep.
One of the more interesting games happening today in Nuggets. Who do you think will take that one?
So with the Heat and the Nuggets, That's another interesting one, just because we know the Heat have been really good so far this season. But and the Nuggets have kind of been struggling, but you know that they can still win a game like that. But I'd probably say the Heat for that one, just because they're seeming like they're really doing well right now.
Joel, who do you have taking that
Yeah,
game?
I say the Heat too.
The Heat are definitely an interesting team. They've only had Jimmy for like I believe 3 or 2 games,
I think it's 3 games.
three
Yeah,
games.
three.
Yeah.
Kendrick Nunn has been holding it down for them.
Yes,
He's
sir.
so far, which is pretty surprising. He's an undrafted rookie with the Warriors in summer league like 2 years ago.
Hmm.
I'm not sure why they didn't keep him. Really showing his dominance in the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
I agree that the Heat will probably take the game away from the Wizards.
From
The Wizards are
Nuggets.
oh snap, the Nuggets. They aren't the best. Oh, they're one of the best teams in the league, but
Yeah.
They're one of
more
the.
from them.
They have a lot of rookies on their team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of want to
Yeah,
see more out of Michael Porter Jr.
Mm.
yeah.
They're gonna play him that much this season, considering his injuries.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Another.
that's one
Oh,
reason to why they might be actually struggling right now, is just because last year it seemed like with the team they had, because there's certain years with teams where it looks like they have the best year that they could that year, or the best year that that specific group could have. That being the Nuggets last year, and the Rockets the year before really had some of the best years they could as teams.
yeah,
And I think that's another thing
Yeah,
with the Nuggets, but they're not really adding anything, and other people have obviously watched them, and they're also one of those teams struggling, whether or not that might be a reason.
yeah. Another game we have today is the Lakers at the Bulls. This, I know this might not seem like an interesting game. The star level on both teams is pretty good. Uh, who do you guys think will take
uh,
the
I
W?
think the Bulls. Honestly,
You think the Bulls will take this one?
yeah, I think the Bulls. Yeah,
The interesting thing about this one is that neither team plays defense really. So it's honestly,
yeah.
if
Has
Zach
to be up to
Levine,
the.
it's really honestly up to, can the Stars, how do the Stars do? How can they score? Because it's really going to be who can score more. I feel like this could be a game that goes into like 120, 130 range, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have to agree. I think the Bulls are gonna take the Lakers down. Um,
You think the Bulls? I didn't actually say. I think the Lakers are actually taking them down, but and explain in a second. Go ahead.
I don't really have the best record in the NBA, nor like the best or bench, but the Lakers,
I
yes,
feel
they do
like
have LeBron. Yes, they do have AD, but it's kind of weak outside of those
yeah,
two. And
I
I
feel
think the
like
Bulls can take them to the fourth quarter and take the dub.
yeah, I feel like the Bulls have the momentum, and the Lakers are still kind of trying to find their uh their team and how to play together.
And found their rhythm or anything because they are
Yeah, yeah,
5-1, but
And
I just
I think the Bulls are 1-5 actually.
they're 2-5 actually.
They're 2-5. So neither, or the Bulls aren't doing too well, but
Yeah, no, they're not. But I do believe that they can take the W this game today.
and then there's a few people out on each side. I can get the actual people in a second, but I think no matter who's out, just because the starters really aren't out, that the Lakers can take it. Just because when it comes to offense, because that's really all that's going to matter in this game. I feel like it seems like the Lakers just have more of it, just because LeBron and Anthony Davis, when there's no defense against them, I feel like is a lot better than whatever the Bulls could send at them. And the actual people who will be out today, which kind of just came in a little bit ago, are going to be Avery Bradley and Rajon Rondo, which are actually probably some of their better defensive players. So that could also definitely be an issue with that one. But I think the
Yeah,
Lakers will definitely just out offense the Bulls, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you think the Lakers can out offense the Bulls?
I think so.
Well, the Bulls, they have Zach LaVine, Otto Porter Jr., Laurie Markkinen, and Wendell Carter Jr. All of them can score. There's no doubt about that.
Kobe White too
Um,
isn't half
oh
bad.
yeah,
I
Kobe
feel
White.
like I feel like
Um,
the Bulls have more chemistry, definitely,
They could,
than the Lakers.
but I feel
I,
like the Lakers as a whole don't really have too much chemistry. But what we've seen so far out of LeBron and AD really seems like the two of them have a lot of chemistry, which is
yeah,
really what they need.
Yeah,
yeah. There's no doubt about that. But I was gonna say, the Bulls have those five. Well, their starting lineup is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And AD is gonna be are gonna be like hung up on trying to defend Zach LaVine and Laurie Markkinen and totally forgetting about Kobe White, Otto Porter Jr. and eventually that's gonna
Yeah.
hurt them going into the fourth.
And especially without those, they have Danny Green, who's pretty good on defense, but besides him, they don't really have a second guy to really defend those people, which is usually what they would have in Avery Bradley. But so that could definitely be a fault, like you said.
Yeah, Avery
yeah.
Bradley sure is very skilled at defense. Tomorrow we have some pretty interesting games as well. We have the Warriors at the Rockets. Who do you think will take that one?
That's an interesting game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think I have to say the Rockets.
You say the Rockets. So this is an
Yeah,
interesting
'cause-
one just because the Rockets are a team that, in my opinion, like obviously should win this game. No doubt in that. But they're a team that hasn't been doing too great against teams they're supposed to beat. Like, for instance, that Heat game, I thought they were supposed to beat them. And even if
they got blown out.
even if they did lose still, they got blown out by that team.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the opposite for the Warriors in that last game. I don't know if they'll continue, but they weren't supposed to win that game against the Blazers, yet they did. But I think it always seems like a big type of game when it's Warriors-Rockets, at least the last few years. And I think the Warriors will definitely put up a good fight, but I think the Rockets just have too much firepower, especially if Russell Westbrook ends up playing in that one, which I assumed he would.
I mean, like you said, the Rockets have been struggling against teams that they should beat. The game against the Grizzlies last night,
Yeah.
they should have won that by like 30, or they should have, blown them out.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it was a 7-point game.
Especially
I
with
think,
Harden at 44.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a biased opinion about this. I think the Warriors are gonna take the W. A little streak they're on. Well, it's not a streak, but
1 game
after
win
the
Yeah, they have confidence.
they have
They're playing
confidence
really
carrying on to
well
this,
right now.
this next game against the Rockets. I don't think anyone can stop Pascal. That might sound
Does
crazy.
he put up 30 against the Rockets?
I
It
gotta
depends on
say
whether or not
25.
D'Lo plays or not.
That's true.
I'm gonna predict 25.
You got
points for him.
25.
25.
Should we
Yeah.
predict how much Eric Pascal puts up?
All right, let's go. Let's predict.
All right, you go. So Joel said 25.
Yeah.
What about you? So what do you think?
If D'Lo plays that game, I'm saying probably like 28, 27. But if D'Lo
28,
doesn't play that game, 30, close to 40.
So I think D'Lo is going to play that game, but I do think that they know what Pascal can do or Pascal can do, and they're going to definitely go through him just because who on the other team, you said it's biased to kind of say who's going to stop him, but on the other team, who really is going to be the guy to guard him?
The Rockets don't really have
Probably
good defensive
Would you
players.
say Tucker?
Yeah.
He's probably
He would
the
probably
best
get in his head,
defensive guy
but
in the start. Yeah,
if
it's interesting. There hasn't
Yeah.
really been someone like do you know really someone you can compare to Eric Pascal? Is there anyone that comes up in your mind?
I mean,
That
the
kind of plays
Draymond
similar?
Green comparison is pretty similar, but
Draymond
Draymond
prior
is not
to
as good
when he could shoot
on
though,
the
kind of.
offensive side. Yeah,
2015, 2014 type Draymond.
but other than Draymond, I want to say LeBron.
You want to say LeBron?
listen, listen.
Nah, look,
Pascal is the same, around the same size. He's a
Yeah.
big man. He can grab boards. He can shoot. I mean, what is it that this man cannot do? Am I
And
right?
what number does LeBron wear?
23.
And what age did Pascal turn yesterday? Or November 4th?
True.
23.
Oh, is there some sort of connection there? Who knows? Maybe he's in his Michael Jordan. I don't know how the
Oh,
NBA works,
he's
you know?
Michael Jordan and LeBron.
I guess so. I guess
compared.
that's why he went off.
Yeah.
Another interesting game we have tomorrow is the Sixers and Jazz. Who do you guys think will take that one?
I say, dang, that's hard.
That's a tough one
I
too. I was looking at
say,
some other ones. That's
I
a
gotta,
good one.
I gotta go with Jazz.
I
Oh,
also got the Jazz.
oh,
I
you
think
guys have reasoning behind that?
that the Jazz just so far have seemed pretty good defensively, but just their offense hasn't clicked. And I think that
Has-
they'll go ahead.
Is Joel Embiid out? I think he is.
I think he's out for 2 games, so I think he might return in that one, which would definitely be a big game for Gobert, whether or not he can stop Embiid or vice versa.
Yeah.
I still think the Jazz can take it though. I just feel like they have more kind of firepower, I guess, rather than the Sixers. Even though that's kind of hard to even trying to say with that, because they both have a lot of. That's definitely going to be the game to watch that day, if not Warriors Rockets.
Well, there's also
Yeah.
another game that day, but
There's
we
also
can
another one,
continue this
but
one.
that's definitely a
I
hard
think
one. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think I think the 76ers will win with or without Joel Embiid. The 76ers are the top team in the league right now, but the Jazz aren't really clicking as far as I know. I expect them to be like undefeated right now because I mean that starting lineup is like super good, but they're not living up to their expectation.
The expectation of the Jazz or the Sixers?
The Jazz,
The Jazz, yeah. Because
because I
their
mean,
offense hasn't been too great in the last few games.
yeah, I mean they have Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's pretty
Joe
good.
Ingles, Bogdanovich, and
Bogdanovich.
Rudy Gobert
Yeah.
Yeah,
go undefeated. You know, not the record they have right now. I'm not sure what record they have, but I'm pretty sure it's not that.
I think they have a 5-2 record. If I'm not too wrong, I'll check that right now.
But yeah, I think the 76ers will take that game away from them.
They're 4 and
It'll
3
be
right
by a
now.
buzzer beater.
You got a
like that.
buzzer beater. Who hits the buzzer beater? Korkmaz again?
Ben,
No.
Ben Simmons with a 3.
That was a fluke. I don't know how
Ben
that
Simmons
guy
three.
won that.
Korkmaz or Ben Simmons?
Cork, whatever that dude's name is.
Will Simmons ever attempt another 3-pointer? He has yet to attempt one, from my understanding, since that shot he made.
Well,
I think
go
he
ahead,
should try,
He's 1 for 1 this season.
but
that was in the preseason or season?
That was in the preseason.
That doesn't count.
Indeed, it doesn't. He's still 0 for how
0.
many? 0 for no. He shot some half court shots.
I think he should start shooting threes. Like even if he doesn't make them,
He gets wide open.
you know, he'll build confidence for that. You know, eventually, he'll start making them.
And also, the only one he took in the preseason, he made. So I feel like that would give him a lot of confidence just as that.
Yeah.
So he has 100% 3-point field goal percentage.
Yep.
Wow.
At least this season, if you count the preseason.
As soon as Joel Embiid starts hitting, I mean Ben Simmons starts hitting threes. I'm sorry. You know it's kind of over for the league. He's really good, but I doubt he's gonna start doing that. I'm pretty sure he's gonna start doing that when they're like up 30 on any team in the league.
Yeah.
Because like I'm if I was the coach, I wouldn't want Ben Simmons shooting threes when they're up by 4.
Would you not?
Ben Simmons.
Do you think because I remember there was a clip of him prior to a game where he was making almost every single one. Though
Was that a game or was it practice?
it wasn't practice, but it was when they were warming up.
So we're not talking about the game.
Yeah, it is.
We're talking about practice.
This is what we're doing now.
Sorry.
But no, you're definitely right about something though. It's not part of the game because there's a lot of people. If you've ever seen people shooting before the game, a lot of people can knock down all of their shots.
Like JaVale can do that
JaVale
with his
knocks down
eyes
almost
Yeah.
all
closed.
of his shots, but also last year, I remember Lonzo and Draymond were both knocking down a ton of their shots in practice, or not in practice, but in their warm-ups. And then as soon as they
Yeah,
start playing the game, they can't really hit anything until at least this year for Lonzo.
yeah, and then they ended up with a 30% percentage or less. So yeah, I don't think Ben Simmons is going to be hitting threes anytime soon.
No,
Another interesting game we have that day is the Bucks and Clippers. Who do you got? Who do you think will take that one?
I gotta say Clippers.
you got to say Clippers. That's gonna be an
Uh,
interesting one for just to see Giannis versus Kawhi.
Yeah,
Is this in any way a back-to-back for the Clippers? It's the front end of a back-to-back. So Kawhi might sit, but I doubt he will for the front end of the back-to-back.
yeah.
If Kawhi doesn't sit, I have the Clippers. Though they've kind of not been. They started off really well, and then lately they haven't been too crazy. Even though obviously they still
yeah.
have Paul George coming in, but with the team right now, I'm gonna go with the Clippers, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks win that one.
Oh well. Who do you have?
I got the Clippers for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm gonna go Giannis. I'm sorry.
Giannis.
I'm disagreeing with y'all. The
Why
Bucks.
is Giannis gonna win the game for them?
Well, I shouldn't say the Bucks. Giannis is gonna win that game. You know why?
How come?
Or
He's gonna be the MVP of the league this year.
Is that your bold prediction?
Oh, I mean, after the Steph Curry injury, I can't say Steph's gonna be the MVP because I mean,
I mean, I think Kawhi is gonna win MVP.
You think Kawhi is gonna win? I feel like he's gonna
Yeah.
sit out too much to be able to win that. Does he?
conversation for another podcast.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. When we're on ESPN. Anyways,
Yes, sir.
I think I think the Bucks will take the win. The Clippers, I mean, yes, they have Kawhi, but I don't know. You know, I don't know.
I
I just
mean,
think the Bucks are gonna win. They just
I feel
like
like
they're really good.
the Clippers could lock down Giannis because they have really good defense, even without Kawhi.
The game they played against the Nuggets, I think they kind of struggled, but they did come out with a W, and that was
Yeah.
without Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think their run has to end at some, and I'm pretty sure Giannis is gonna put an end to their.
So you think
will.
Giannis is going back to back? We'll get more into that in the future, but anyways,
Yeah. Okay. Another. Well, we have a couple more interesting games for the rest of this week. Is the Heat versus the Suns.
so
Who do you guys think will take that one?
this is a game where if you told me like 2 months ago, I would just straight up say the Heat and we'd move on. But now
Are you sure about that?
Well, I said 2 months ago. Right now, I would take the Suns probably as easy
Oh.
as I would of the Heat 2 months ago. The Suns definitely they've taken down a lot better teams. I think you can say they took down the Clippers, who I think technically kind of are better than the Heat at least right now. But I mean the Heat are also doing really well. But I gotta go with the Suns on that one.
Well, who do you have?
I say the Suns as well.
You say the Suns.
Yeah.
Their logos are strikingly similar.
I've looked at that a second ago. It's pretty much the opposite.
No, what do you mean? They look the same.
Well, I mean like flip one around.
If
Let
you
me see. I'm
That's what I meant.
switching it over real quick.
if you do a full 180-degree turn with the Suns logo, it looks exactly like the Heat one. Logos.
I just said that. All right. Anyways.
Oh, is that what? My bad.
Yeah.
The Sun. I think the Suns are gonna win. Yeah, 100%. Honestly, I don't know how the Heat are 5-1. I don't know who's on their team besides Kendrick Nunn and Jimmy Butler.
They got Bam. They got Dragic.
I mean,
Justice Winslow.
Dragic.
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 Dragon.
Anyways,
Dragic. I don't
But
know how to say his name either.
other than those two, or I
Olynyk.
guess you can say three was Bam.
they got a
I
lot
don't.
of depth, honestly.
Yeah.
So maybe not too popular names, but there's still some pretty good names.
Yeah, I guess I got the Heat taking that.
You have the Heat taking that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because of their defense.
Jimmy Buckets or their defense?
Jimmy Buckets is gonna go off, and Kendrick Nunn
You
is
think
also
so?
gonna go off. Bam's gonna have a total of 5 blocks that game on Devin
Oof.
Booker.
All on Devin Booker? All 5
All on
blocks?
Devin Booker.
So how many points is Booker putting up? Is he not
Devin
putting up 30?
Devin's putting up 16,
16 points. 3 for 12
22.
shooting.
Cam Johnson is sitting out.
You're probably
Andrew
right
Baines?
about that one. You say
Andrew
Andrew
Baines?
Baines? Aaron
Or what?
Baines?
Aaron Baines. I don't
You're
really care
thinking
for him that
Andrew
much
Bennett.
because he injured my guy,
Yes, sir. He also slapped someone else in the face right after that.
Batman,
Wait, what are we
Batman?
talking about? Sorry,
Wayne?
Aaron
I got
Baines.
Aaron Baines,
Dwayne. Wayne.
Dwayne Bacon,
Yes, sir.
Aaron Baines. Yeah, he's terrible.
Awful.
If you're listening to this, you should call up Steph Curry and apologize.
And follow the OPS
Yeah, definitely.
podcast on social
Oh yeah,
media.
that too.
Curry,
Yeah, on Twitter
Most
and
definitely.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Check
yeah.
it out now.
App coming soon. Watch out.
Yes, sir.
Watch
Website
out.
as well.
Baines is gonna do terrible.
You think? All right. So, yeah, next game.
Okay. The next interesting game. Doesn't sound that interesting. It feels 2013, but the Pistons and the Pacers. Who's gonna take that?
I gotta go Pistons.
You gotta go Pistons. This is
Yeah,
one
Drummond.
where. Go ahead.
Drummond. Drummond's playing
I don't know
really
about
good.
Miles Turner.
Is that all you gotta say?
And-
Drummond.
Drummond.
Yeah, just Drummond.
That's the end of
Drummond.
the debate. Like, there's no
Tony?
debate there. Just
There's no
Drummond.
debate.
Just Drummond.
Michael
No
Rappaport,
debate.
shout out. I don't know why.
Shout out. Ian Rappaport too. All right. Anyways, so this is a matchup that I would have said was like the 4th and 6th seed going head to head, but now it might be the 14th and the 15th seed. But anyway,
Are they doing that bad?
They're not doing that bad.
I think D Rose is
they're
out
both
now.
struggling. D Rose, I don't think is out. I think he's actually starting now because Reggie Jackson's out for a few weeks.
Oh yeah.
But both teams are just underperforming right now. Obviously, the Pacers are without Oladipo, which is a huge part of their team. But just the Pistons in total, they also are missing Blake Griffin, which I'm realizing right now that they're both missing the star. But
Yeah.
you still would think with Andre Drummond and Miles Turner, Jeremy Lamb, all those guys, they would still be able to do well. I've been high on the Pacers all off season up until now.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to stop you there. It's out.
Nice.
He's injured.
Who is?
Miles Turner.
Is he really?
Yes.
You are
For
absolutely
the
correct.
for the Pistons.
No, for the Pacers. You were
The
absolutely
Pacers.
correct with his ankle.
So,
See, I still
as far as
want to
the
go
Pacers go, they and Lamb. That's about it.
They got Jeremy. They have T.J. Warren.
Oh,
Jeremy
Sabonis.
Lamb, Sabonis.
Oh, Sabonis and Drummond.
Sabonis.
That's gonna be a good matchup.
Is it though?
Nah,
Sabonis has shown
Drummond.
some pretty good. He's
He
probably
has,
one of the
but-
better players in the team. Outside of Victor Oladipo, I'm pretty sure he's the best player on that team.
But to Andre Drummond standards,
Andre
Yeah,
Drummond.
Andre Drummond.
50,
Hype around this
50 and
guy.
30. I got the Pacers. Somehow something's gonna happen.
I got the Pistons.
They're gonna find a way. Malice at the palace. Sabonis goes to the stands.
What are these predictions?
I mean, you said
I'm gonna have
Bam's
to
gonna
play.
get 5 blocks on Booker.
Is that a wild prediction? Bam is very good on defense.
That is about 5 blocks
And you
all
know
on
what?
Devin Booker.
6 blocks because you said that.
6 blocks on Devin Booker.
Yeah, 6 blocks.
Makes
I
And
sense.
say
I also
he's gonna
think
get
that
3.
the Pistons. I think the Pistons going to take the dub. Race the bonus. The Pistons are going to take the dub.
Yeah, I think
Drummond
the
is
Pistons
just
as
too
well.
good.
Yeah,
You switched up real quick.
As good as Sabonis is, Drummond. That's all I have to say.
Just Drummond.
just
Yeah, Drummond be Drummond. You know.
Drummond? No, I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
When people ask about the Pistons, just say Drummond.
Yes, sir.
How the Pistons doing? Drummond.
Drummond.
Or
Usually
Travis
means
Scott.
good.
How are you holding that belt up? I mean, never mind. All right, so Drummond there, not the Pistons. Drummond. As this week goes, that's as much as the interesting games. So we're gonna close it off here.
Yeah.
This has been an On Point Sports podcast.